What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. Friday night slate, 11 gamer. Excited to break this one down with you guys. Appreciate all you being here once again. Pretty cool slate tonight. This is one of those days where there's a lot of clear plays, a lot of guys that really stand out. You're going to see a lot of chalk on tonight's slate. And then there's guys that are going to go overlooked. There's players that I like in tournaments that I don't think are going to be that popular. We have so many games, so many options. Definitely going to see some guys go overlooked tonight. But obviously, we're going to have to talk about, some of these clear plays that really do stand out because, now that Kemba Walker's out, we got some value from Boston. Now that Mason Plumlee is officially out, Isaiah Stewart looks like a really good value again. You're probably starting with those two guys like in your cash game build and kind of working from there. But even more value could open up today because we don't know yet who's playing for the Magic. The Magic are still, I think Fournier and Cole Anthony are both still questionable. Yeah, they're both still questionable. Frank Mason's been ruled out. We do know that Michael Carter-Williams is playing, but, if there's no Cole Anthony, no Evan Fournier, that would leave the Magic with 8 bodies, I'm pretty sure. Or they would have 9 bodies. Yeah, they'd have 9 bodies, I think. Can't remember, honestly, but, yeah, pretty good, pretty good game to target if we do get word that Anthony and Fournier are out again. We're definitely going to be wanting to load up on those Magic. But this should be a fun slate, guys. I'm excited to break this one down with you. Let's get into it. Is it safe to say we start our lineups by locking in Stewart at minimum salary on Yahoo? Yeah, like I said, T-Bone, I think, cash games, optimal build, I think you're starting with Russell Westbrook, Peyton Pritchard, and Isaiah Stewart. Those look like clearly, Westbrook looks like the top stud on the slate by a mile, and Pritchard and Stewart look like two of the better values right now, just in my opinion. But I think that's probably who I'm going to be starting with on this slate for sure. And then, once you start with those 3 guys, you've got salary to work with, so you can pay up for some of these other studs that aren't going to be as popular as someone like Westbrook. I have no problems playing Westbrook in tournaments today. There's going to be people out there that say to fade him because he's going to be so popular, but it's an 11-game slate, man. Westbrook might be 50-60% owned, but honestly, that's not that high. You can play other studs with him to get different. You don't have to fade Westbrook to get different on this slate. I'm playing Westbrook, so, y'all do you, but I'm playing him. Would have won $500 if I paid up for Bacon instead of Mason, leaving $400 on the table. Yeah, dude, the Frank Mason thing was just so brutal. I pulled up the game. I had a decent lineup going. I wanted to see how, just wanted to see how Frank Mason was going to play. I pulled up the game. He literally, I think he ran into a screen, like Draymond set a screen, and Frank Mason, ran into him, and then he was holding his groin. I was like, oh, no, here we go. And sure enough, they come back from commercial break, and then they said, Frank Mason headed to the locker room. I was like, well, fun while it lasted. So much for that. Pritchard and Ojale in the same lineup. I don't know if I'm on Semi Ojale today. I know people are probably going to play him because he went off last night, but let's not forget the kind of player that Semi Ojale is. He's never been a really productive player when he's on the floor. I don't think I'm playing Semi Ojale. I'd be off of him for sure. You can play him, I guess. He's still really cheap. He's like 3,100, but this is still someone that, we've seen in the past when he gets starts, he can go out there and do nothing. I just don't think we need to play Semi Ojale on this slate, especially if he's going to be popular. That's an easy fade for me. No, my guy, hope you're doing well. Let's get it, Clinton. Appreciate you being here, man. Still cash without Mason. Your insight is definitely worth it. Go ahead and slap that like button. Well, that's awesome, Roscoe. I'm glad you're still able to cash. And yeah, hit the like button, guys. Appreciate all you being here. Is Fox a good play if you were looking to play a few Orlando value if Anthony and Fournier are out? Yeah, Fox is definitely a tournament option. Obviously he's not like a core play. He's the same price as Westbrook, so obviously I'm going to prefer Westbrook there. But I don't think Fox is going to get that much ownership today. So, if you're playing, if we get word that the Magic guys are out again, and they have an 8 or 9-man rotation, you're probably going to want to load up on those Magic guys. And, it makes sense to run it back with someone on the Sacramento side. And obviously Fox would be probably the first guy you're looking to. So yeah, have no problems with Fox on this slate. Only ended up with one dumpster fire of a lineup with Hero Frank last night. Thank God. Profitable night, I'll take it. Yeah, the Hero thing, I wasn't playing Tyler Hero last night, but literally the game's starting and we get word that Tyler Hero's been ruled out. Just so stupid. I'm all about playing Lou Williams for $16 on Yahoo. Yeah, he's still too cheap over there. I think I'd probably take the savings and play Peyton Pritchard for $10, but yeah, Lou Will's a good value too. Plenty of value on Yahoo today. Just so many guys are underpriced. Small forward on Yahoo feels rough. Got 2 stars and a sneaky cheaper play. I mean, if you can pay up, I think Kawhi, Jaylen Brown, Chris Middleton, like those are probably my favorite guys at the top. For cheap, I do like Kendrick Williams still. Kendrick Williams is still pretty cheap on Yahoo. And, he's going to play a ton of minutes because OKC is still very thin for tonight's game. I think they only have, if Isaiah Roby plays, OKC is only going to have 9 bodies. And if Isaiah Roby's out again, then they'll only have 8 bodies. So I feel like we're probably getting over 30 minutes from Kendrick Williams, and he's still really cheap. So he'd be a cheap small forward I'd look to. Seems pretty safe to say Pritchard will get the minutes over Teague. Yeah, Teague didn't even play last night. And, maybe that was because they knew they were going to rest Kemba, so they figured they just let Teague sit out. But, I mean, it's pretty clear that Pritchard's the guy they should be playing over Jeff Teague. Even if Jeff Teague starts, like I'm still playing Peyton Pritchard. Because last time Teague started in place of Kemba, that was a game I'm pretty sure Pritchard was out and Teague still only played like 22 minutes. Like Teague could start and play 20 minutes, but I think regardless, Pritchard's probably playing over 30, whether he starts or comes off the bench. Hey, bro, won $25 leagues on FanDuel with Steph last night and James Ennis. Hey, James freaking Ennis, man. That dude, he had like 35 or close to 40 DK points last night. The camera's blurry. Damn. It does this shit all the time. Hold up. Let me see if I can fix it. It's got to do with like the brightness. Whenever it gets like really dull, there it goes. It just has to autofocus. It takes forever to autofocus. Let's get that money tonight. Let's get it, DFS Guru. Let's get it, man. Who starts for Beal? I really don't know yet. I would assume it's probably either Jerome Robinson or they could maybe. Lately, they've been starting Beal. It was Westbrook, Beal, Bertans, Rui, and Alex Len. Denny Avdia's been coming off the bench. They could maybe move him back to the starting lineup, but then they'd have Bertans, Avdia, and Rui in the starting lineup. I don't know if they do that. It's probably going to be Jerome Robinson, if I had to guess. Either like him or Garrison Matthews. Thoughts on Westbrook, Diallo, Michael Porter, Bertans, Towns, Peyton Pritchard, Tice, Gallinari. I mean, that's solid. I know Isaiah Stewart's going to be chalky, but I think I'd want him in there. He's a really good value. I mean, he started last night in place of Mason Plumlee. Mason Plumlee's out again. I assume Isaiah Stewart starts again. Played 31 minutes last night. We probably get 30 to 32 minutes from him today. He's been a point-per-minute player this year. Look, he's still really cheap. I think Isaiah Stewart you're going to want to have a good amount of exposure to. And I think if I'm playing one lineup, it's going to be hard to get away from guys like Isaiah Stewart and Peyton Pritchard. Donovan Mitchell for cash, I mean, yeah, he's totally in play for cash games. We've seen the upside and the safety. Like his floor is just so much higher when Mike Conley's out, and the ceiling's a lot higher as well. Okeke with Michael playing, do you think he's still going to get minutes? I mean, Michael Carter-Williams is a guard, so I don't think that's going to affect Okeke too much. Last night, I think he almost played close to 30, if I'm not mistaken. He played 35 last night, so it depends on if Cole Anthony and Evan Fournier both play, I'd be a little hesitant to go to Okeke, but if they remain out, then yeah, he's definitely viable. It's just so tough, man, because that's, one of the late night games, and I don't know if we're going to get that news before lock. Makes it tough. You're going to be guessing pretty much. Top cheap values on the Wizards. I mean, it depends on who starts. If Jerome Robinson starts, he's, worth a look. I don't want to load up on too many Wizards, though. I think Avdia is still pretty cheap. He does get a boost with no Bradley Beal. His numbers have been better with Beal off the floor. So probably Jerome Robinson if he starts, and then Denny Avdia would be like the 2 cheap guys I look to from Washington. I'm sick of these injuries and last-minute people out. Yeah, it's been super weird lately. Just dudes getting ruled out last second, 20, 30 minutes before tip-off. Guys are randomly getting ruled out. I mean, you got to be ready, man. NBA it's become tough, NBA DFS. If you're not checking for news and stuff, you might get screwed one of these nights. So it makes sense to be on Twitter, have notifications on, so you'll know if guys get ruled out. Are the Atlanta Magic players out due to injury? Concerned with the game being played? Right, Fournier and Cole Anthony have been out for injury. As long as, right now, even if they are out, they still have like 9 players, so the Magic are going to be fine. I see you repping FSU, fan or alum. I'm just a fan. I didn't go to Florida State, but I've always been an FSU fan my whole life. Top 4 best plays on the slate. I mean, clearly right now, Westbrook, Peyton Pritchard, and Isaiah Stewart look like 3 of the best plays on the slate. So I think you're In cash games, you're probably starting with those three guys, I would assume. Jerome Robinson, if he's starting, or Garrett Temple, I'd take Jerome Robinson. Raul Neto's in the starting lineup on RotoWire. I mean, yeah, I could see that. They could definitely start Westbrook and Neto together. But, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, it's the 7 o'clock game, so we'll have their starting lineup before lock. Westbrook, Mitchell, Bacon, Randall, Stewart, Pritchard, Birch, Tatum. I mean, that's pretty solid for now. Jerome Robinson starting. Is that official? I don't think that's official yet. We got to wait and see. You like Grayson Allen or Tyus Jones for value? Which one would you prefer? I mean, I would assume Grayson Allen starts for Desmond Bane, so I'd probably take him over Tyus Jones. Interest in Cleveland players all seem cheap, and Portland coming off back-to-back. I do like Drummond. I think Drummond's too cheap. You know, he only got like 16 minutes last game, but I don't think that's obviously not something we can expect to happen again. So, yeah, Andre Drummond, too cheap, and a good matchup against Portland. I do like him, but not much else interest in anyone else from Cleveland outside of Drummond. Vooch was looking exhausted due to high minutes in the last few weeks. I know it's something you do not care, but how much have we taken into account? I mean, yeah, he's been playing a lot of minutes. He could be tired, but it's not like they have a ton of other bodies. I mean, I think Vooch is still going to play his normal minutes as long as the game stays close. So I'm not worried about that too much. He's played on back-to-backs this year. He's played his normal minutes on back-to-backs, so not worried about that. How you feel about Lonzo Ball? I just think he's a little bit too expensive. You know, I know he's been playing really well lately, but I don't know if I can pay nearly $7K for Lonzo on this slate. Martin Twins being out affect anything? I mean, not really. It's not like they play a ton anyway. I mean, Charlotte's going to be even more thin now. Like Charlotte already runs a pretty tight rotation. Like they usually only play about 8 guys. So I don't know who's going to pick up more minutes off the bench. Like maybe someone else will come into the rotation, but I don't think it affects too much. Lou Will in play still, or too much value with Diallo, Pritch, Russ at guard spots. I mean, Lou Will's still viable. If you're talking Yahoo, yeah, he's like cheap over there, so still like him over there. I don't know if I can get to Lou Will on DK though, where he's almost 6K. Need to cash tonight, sitting at below $1 and try not to put any money in. Enter 25 tournaments only. Well, I wish you the best of luck, Dylan. Hopefully I can help. Hopefully, if you have any questions about the site, I can help. Hopefully no last-minute scratches. What do you think of my lineup? Fox, Lou Will, Diallo, Hayward, Stewart, Pritchard, Levine, Ennis. Yeah, that's solid for now, Patrick. Something I do know, let's win some money today, or hopefully not get a donut again. Yeah, Peyton Pritchard, man. Or not Peyton Pritchard, but Frank Mason. God, that was super frustrating. Who you like better, Tatum or Towns? I mean, Tatum's probably the safer option. I still like the upside that Towns has, but obviously, without Kemba Walker, Tatum's going to get even more usage. We know his minutes are going to be there, whereas Towns could maybe be limited. I don't think he will be, but yeah, Tatum's probably the better play there. Safer, honestly. Who's a good NBA beat writer you can recommend on Twitter? I mean, every team has beat writers. There's not one guy that's going to report for every team. Fantasy Labs does, they report what's on the injury report, so they post that for you. But, you can follow the beat writers yourself for every team. Michael Gallagher, he, kind of retweets stuff from other beat writers. I follow him, so he could, Michael Gallagher, if you want to follow him. We're the best place so far. I mean, we've already discussed 3 of the better options. It tilts me when people come in here and just ask who are the best plays. Like, that's got to be the stupidest question you can ask. I mean, how lazy can you be? RotoWire isn't always a great reference. They put up what they think until teams announce officially. Yeah, I don't really look too much into RotoWire, but I mean, I guess they can give you a projected lineup. That doesn't mean anything's official. Nothing's official till the team puts it out themselves. Vooch burned me on the last back-to-back. His upside, though, in a favorable matchup decisions. Yeah, I mean, I still think Vooch is a really good option. I'm not worried about the back-to-back. Why did Semi Ojeleye all of a sudden get 30 minutes? He was knocking down shots. I'm not playing Semi Ojeleye, and if he goes off, then so be it. But I'm not chasing that. I need a center forward in Utah. I got $48 left. I mean, Isaiah Stewart's $10. You could play him. At forward, there's some cheap. Like I like Kendrick Williams for a cheap forward, and then I don't know what that would leave you with your util, but you can figure that out. LaMelo and Lonzo in the same lineup. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Lonzo. I think LaMelo's in play for tournaments, but I probably wouldn't be playing both those guys on this slate. I do like LaMelo, though. I don't really like Lonzo. Rank these 4 players: Ennis, Ingles, Bacon, Clarkson. I'd probably go Clarkson number 1, Ingles 2, Bacon 3, and Ennis 4. I hate playing guards in utility spots, but I love Trae Young so much tonight. Trae, Pritchard, and Westbrook viable with value on center. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. If you want to play Trae Young, go ahead. You treat three entry max tournaments more like cash builds or tournament builds, or do you do some of each? For 3 max, I think you can build like a cash lineup, but then maybe make 1 or 2 pivots. Like you don't have to go too off the board. Especially most of the 3 max tournaments are not that they're not insanely in terms of entry levels or whatever. The amount of people in the contest, they're not like insanely high. So it's not like you have to get too off the board on 3 max tournaments. Some people, they'll play like 4 or 5 guys. They'll have like 4 or 5 core players, and they'll play those in each. They'll play all 4 of those 5 or 4 or 5 of those guys in each lineup. I don't technically do that, but you could do that if you have a good core that you really like. Play that core in every lineup, and then kind of just mix and match with the other spots. Let's get this money tonight. Let's get it, Willie. Let's get it, man. I agree with you. Those people need to do some research. I mean, yeah. People come in here for half a second, ask for the best plays, and then leave. Yeah, it's so lazy, man. At this point, I'm not even gonna answer those questions. It's just so stupid that people actually ask that. I know this sounds like a stupid question, but is $20 contest with 3 entry max a little over 800 contestants considered cash game or GPP? I mean, it's still a GPP. Cash games are contests where 35-40% of the field gets paid, and there's not. In cash games, obviously, you all win the same amount of money. So in a double up, you're all either going to double up or you're going to lose. In a tournament, if you bubble, you're going to probably, double your money. But obviously, if you win first place, you're going to win a lot more. So that's a GPP. What's good, Noah? Appreciate your content as always. Well, thank you, Zachary. Appreciate you being here. Best forward under 6.6K. Let's see. There's not much I like in this range. Probably would take like Michael Porter Jr. or Darius Baisley. I don't really like a ton of forwards in this range, though. Yeah. I mean, I'd say just go really cheap with like Kenrich Williams at 5,100, then maybe upgrade somewhere else. If Graham is out, can we pivot off Westbrook to play LaMelo, thinking he may be low owned? I mean, yeah, if Graham's out again, I still like LaMelo and Terry Rozier. Okeke or Birch? Probably prefer Birch just because he's a more productive player. But I think both are going to get pretty good minutes, especially if, Fournier, all those guys are out again. Towns, Barnes, or Cantor, Tatum? I'd take Cantor and Tatum there. Other than Westbrook, do any of the studs appeal to you for spin dubs? Great matchup, maybe. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of studs worth spinning up for. Like, it's not a good matchup for Giannis, but with no Drew Holiday, I mean, Giannis and Chris Middleton are just going to dominate the usage for Milwaukee. So, Giannis, I do like Damian Lillard. I still think he's too cheap. Kawhi without PG and a great matchup against the Bulls. Obviously, Vooch and a really good matchup against the Kings. I mean, there's so many other studs to get in today, but I definitely am building around Westbrook. I'm going to have Westbrook, and then just seeing what else I can get with Westbrook. That's going to be what I try and do. But, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good studs on this slate in good spots. No, what's up, Brody? Thoughts on Avia? I do like Avia for a cheap option. He does benefit with no Bradley Beal. His numbers are better with Beal off the floor, although it is a limited sample size. But, yeah, I still do like Denny Avia for cheap. Who's the next best offensive player for Washington after Beal? I mean, for tonight, I think Davis Bertans should have the opportunity to get more shots up. Avia should be able to produce. I mean, it's tough to tell what we're going to get from these secondary Washington guys. I just think Westbrook's going to dominate the usage. He's going to have the ball in his hands a ton. I think, taking shots on the cheap guys like Bertans, Avia, Jerome Robinson, if he starts, I'm fine doing that in tournaments. But obviously, core plays, top options, it's just, Westbrook for me. If you had to choose between Vooch and Kawhi, or who would you go with? Probably take Vooch. When does Clippers play? So the Clippers play at 8. If we know that Cole Anthony and Evan Fournier are playing by 8 o'clock, then I would swap to Kawhi. But that's so tough because I doubt we know if they're going to be in or out by then. I mean, last night we got word the Magic played at 10 o'clock last night, and we got word at like 7:45 that Fournier and all those guys were out. So maybe we'll get word around that time tonight. I don't know. Tonight would be Westbrook, Randall, Stewart, and Pritchard. Oh yeah, I mean I like all 4 of those guys. The dummy lineup I built up earlier this afternoon, that's kind of where I started. Westbrook, Randall, and then Stewart and Pritchard for value. Ross has good points last night, but if you look at the line, he had a bad shooting night once again. What situations would you consider him? Yeah, so if Fournier and Cole Anthony, if all those guys are out again, I still like Terrence Ross a lot. I mean, he shot the ball terribly last night, and he still had like almost 40 Draftkings points. It's kind of crazy. I know he had like 3 blocks, which is kind of an outlier, but he shot 29% from the field and still had 37 DK points. He took 27 shots, and he played 41 minutes. Like Terrence Ross, if Frank Mason, well, we know Frank Mason's out, but if Cole Anthony and Evan Fournier are out, like Terrence Ross might start at point guard, and he's going to play as many minutes as he can. In a good matchup against Sacramento, if we're going to get 25, 30 field goal attempts from Terrence Ross and close to 40 minutes, I mean, yeah, I'll pay $5,600 for Terrence Ross in that case. But I don't think I'm playing Terrence Ross today if Anthony and Fournier are in. Just can't do it. So it's all dependent on if they're in or out. Isaiah Store's our hometown hero. Hey, he did me good last night. I swapped onto him when I saw that Plumlee was out. Jeremy Grant seems too cheap. I mean, yeah, he's been bad lately. He's burned me some of these last few slates, but yeah, he's still affordable. We got to watch the stats of Blake Griffin. So Blake Griffin, he hasn't played on any back-to-backs this year. He hasn't been ruled out for tonight, but I would not be surprised if later, closer to lock, we get word that Blake Griffin's out. And if that's the case, I just like Jeremy Grant even more. My only concern with Westbrook is his aggressiveness, picking up too many fouls too early on or getting teed up. I mean, yeah, that's always a risk with Westbrook is getting, technicals or, fouls, but that's not something we can predict. If Westbrook goes out there and picks up 2 fouls in a minute, then so be it. But at the end of the night, I don't want to look at my lineups and see that Westbrook dropped 70 and I fade him because I was worried about foul trouble. I think if you want to fade Westbrook tonight, you just do it because he's going to be so popular. I don't think you fade Westbrook because you think he's going to do bad. Like, Westbrook projects so well for his salary. I was thinking, what do you think about fading Westbrook playing Fox running it back? Yeah, like I said, I mean, if you want to fade Westbrook, go ahead. It's not something I'm going to be doing. I'm playing Westbrook tonight, but if you want to fade him, go ahead. I think the reason you fade him, like I said, it's just going to be because he's so popular and at least has a path to failing. I wouldn't be surprised if the Wizards just score 15 points in the first quarter. I mean, they could definitely have one of those games where they just can't make any shots. Their offense is just so inefficient, but everything's going to run through Westbrook. So even if they have a bad night, offensively, even if they only score 80 points, I mean, it's a good chance Westbrook still gets there, even if Washington only scores 80 points. I remember you saying that you use Twitter to check on who is in and out. Do you have to have a sports writer from each team to follow, or how do you go about it? So I follow Fantasy Labs. They tweet out starting lineups. They tweet out whenever somebody's out. But I also, follow a bunch of other guys around the DFS industry. They'll sometimes, if a beat writer tweets out something, they'll sometimes retweet it and I'll catch it. I personally don't follow a bunch of beat writers. I'll see them. I'll see the tweets from other guys that quote it, But I do follow a lot of guys around the DFS industry, and they follow the beat writers, so they kind of do it for me. But yeah, Fantasy Labs, I mean, they're the account you want to follow. I got lucky, though, that I saw the tweet the other night about Isaiah Roby. Because I was not following the person that tweeted it out. I just saw somebody else retweet it. Power forward spot with 5,900 left, Kuzma or Bazley. I'd probably take Bazley there. Kuzma's, Kuzma's at this point, his price tag's too high. I would obviously not be playing him at all if Anthony Davis plays. Maybe if Anthony Davis is out again, you could play Kuzma, but it's tough to pay nearly $6K for him. He's still really cheap on Yahoo, though, so if you play on Yahoo, Kuzma does still a really good value over there if AD's out again. Diallo for cash, yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Diallo is just going to play as many minutes as he can handle. He's going to get a ton of usage. He's been really productive without SGA. No SGA once again. They have 9 bodies if Roby plays. They have an 8-man rotation if Roby's out. Yeah, I feel really confident in Diallo. I mean, he could probably shoot terribly and still get there. He's double-double the last 2 games. He's been, a guy that can rebound. Yeah, I feel really good about Diallo. Drew, content day in and day out, bro. Who do you prioritize on Orlando if Fournier and Anthony are out? It's probably going to be Vooch and Terrence Ross again. But, the value guys would be in play. So, Kim Birch, Okeke. I wouldn't feel like those would be core values, but definitely guys you could mix in. We saw Kim Birch play a good amount alongside alongside was Vooch last night. Okeke got over 30 minutes. Michael Carter-Williams is back, so that's going to throw a wrench into things, but I don't think Michael Carter-Williams is going to get a ton of minutes because he's been gone for so long. I assume he's going to be limited. So, yeah, definitely like Vooch and Ross would be the two guys I'd look to again. Especially Terrence Ross, he's really cheap on Yahoo still. I like him a lot over there. You have interest in MPJ? Not too much interest. I think because small forward's always a tough position to fill, MPJ's viable, but I think I'd rather save salary and play, Kendrick Williams on the other side of that game. Ingram, Middleton, or Kawhi and Jaylen Brown? Probably Kawhi and Jaylen Brown there. Diallo or Deontay Murray? Or Diallo or Deontay Murray? I'd probably take Diallo. Best value, Pritchard and Stewart? Yeah, I agree there, Dylan. Right now, those are two of the better values. Peyton Pritchard and Isaiah Stewart. Men cash a lineup that had Frank Mason in it. I want to pull up my line real quick. I was on the bubble in a lot of the lower stakes tournaments. I didn't cash in any of the higher stakes stuff, but last night I scored 262.75 with Peyton Pritchard. Tough, man. Brutal. Thanks for all you do, bud. Good luck, everyone. Go Cavs. Good luck, Chris. And, yeah, hey, go Cavs. Vooch, Cat, Levine, or Kawhi, who has the biggest night? Between those four, I'd probably take Vooch. It'd be between Vooch or Kawhi. I'd probably take Vooch. What's good? Zion, Ingram, DeRozan. What's your ideal pick for cash? I mean, between those three, if I had to pick one, probably be Zion. Zion's ceiling isn't massive, but he does have a really high floor. Even on bad nights, you're still getting like 35 from Zion, so probably take him. Great content as usual, Noah. Who starts at center tonight for value? I'm assuming for center value, not Isaiah Stewart. You're looking for another value center not named Isaiah Stewart? I mean, I don't know if there's any other value at the center position besides Stewart. Daniel Tice, I do like. He's center eligible. He's 4,800. He got 27 minutes last night, was really productive. Tristan Thompson came off the bench, so that's going to be beneficial for Daniel Tice. I could see playing him as a value center, but obviously the clear value center right now is Isaiah Stewart. Hero screwed me over, Roby, the night before. Down $100 from that. I think I might take the night off. Yeah, it's tough, man. Could you come to my house, possibly use my computer and my mouse and pick my team for me, then submit it for me? Jesus Christ. Sure thing, Dean. Send me your address. Hit the like button, guys. Appreciate the content. Noah, question. If you could target one game, which one is the most appealing tonight? I mean, it depends on who plays for the Magic. If the Magic have a bunch of guys out and they only have like 8 or 9 bodies, I think that Magic Kings game is going to be one to load up on. Definitely like that one. If Anthony, Fournier, all them guys are out. I think the OKC Denver game's appealing. Not really on the Denver side, but OKC, once again, they're very thin. They only have like 8 or 9 bodies. So, yeah, those are a couple of games I'm looking to. Who's your value power forward on Yahoo? It's probably Daniel Tice. He's really cheap there. He's $14, so it'd probably be Daniel Tice as a value power forward. If AD's out again, Kyle Kuzma's only $13. I like him a lot. I think Davis Bertans' minimum salary, if I'm not mistaken. Kiki's minimum salary as well. I thought I saw there's Bertans, so he's minimum salary. Those are a couple of cheap power forwards I like on Yahoo. I think my favorite, though, would definitely be Kuzma if Anthony Davis is out. But, another 10 o'clock game, so I just don't know if we're going to have that news before lock. Probably not, if I had to guess. Sorry if we covered this already, but MCW in play if Anthony's out. I just don't know how many minutes he plays, Jeremy. If we get word that MCW is not on a minutes limit, then yeah, he's viable for sure. I just feel like given he hasn't played in like a month, he's probably going to be limited. I mean, what's his price? I think he's really cheap. Yeah, I mean, he's $4,100. If we can get like 26, 28 minutes from Michael Carter-Williams without Cole Anthony, he would definitely be viable, but I just don't know if that's, how much we're going to get. You're the man, no others, self-centered and full of themselves. I appreciate that, Alan. What about Hachimura with Bill out? I don't know if that affects Rui too much. Rui, this season, he's just been so tough to trust. Like, he just hasn't been that good for DFS. I mean, obviously, Beal being out is, it's going to benefit a lot of guys. I just don't know if Rui's someone I'm really going to go to on this slate. Might try some sportsbooks tonight. Had better luck there than doing lineups. Hey, whatever you're having success on, Patrick, that's what you should probably be playing. I wish I could play this, the sportsbook. Can't do that here in my state. Thanks, man. Appreciate the content. Sure thing, Dean. Sure thing. If I can get to Joker, would you play him over Vucevic? I mean, yeah, if you have the salary, just straight up, Jokic probably projects better over Vuce. So, yeah, you could definitely play him there. Jeremy Grant was so awful last night. Rest in peace, 3 lineups. Yeah, I played Jeremy Grant on DK too, so I know how you feel. Tough, man. I feel like he's someone... I've gotten like one good Jeremy Grant game, but it seems like anytime I play him, he freaking sucks. How do you feel about Donovan Mitchell's matchup tonight? Ceiling breaker or not? Thanks, Noah. I mean, the last 2 games without Mike Conley, he's been really good. Milwaukee, they've been pretty bad. They haven't been as good defensively this year. Mitchell is still pretty cheap, I think. Like, his price really isn't rising much at all. Even after 2 really big games, he's still 8,200. Last 2 games without Mike Conley, 56 and 62 DK points. He's taken 24, 23 shots, playing a ton of minutes. I still like Donovan Mitchell quite a bit. I think he's definitely in play. You would think after 2 big games like that, he'd be like 9K, but they still not pricing him up. Would we be on Roby if he plays? I mean, I just don't know how many minutes he's going to get, Jeremy. Like, I know they'd be running a tight rotation, but there's a chance he only gets like 18, 20 minutes. Like last game, they played Muscala almost 30 minutes. I could see them doing that again. I feel like there's going to be better value than, having to go to Isaiah Roby. You need a point guard. You have 7,100. I'd probably take John Morant there. I think he's 7,100. Yeah, I'd take John Morant there. Thoughts on Isaiah Stewart? I mean, yeah, he looks like a really good value once again. Last night, once it was announced that Plumlee was out and Stewart was starting, he became a top value for me. I played him on both sites, or I played him on DK. I didn't play him on Yahoo. Couldn't get him in on Yahoo, but played him on DK. It worked out. I'm fine going right back to him. He's still so cheap. He's a point-per-minute player. He's probably going to get around 30 minutes because you got to think, they still don't have Jahlil Okafor either. So they're down Mason Plumlee and Jahlil Okafor. They're really thin at the center spot. How do you feel about the guard situation in San Antonio? I mean, I don't think I'm really going to be going to those guys. I think if I was going to play one, it would be Dejounte Murray, but I don't have that much interest in Derek White. I think Murray's viable in tournaments, though. He's going to be really low owned, so someone you could look to. I think Mitchell's pissed off from Shaq's criticism. I mean, yeah, I saw that video. Shaq was like asking him or telling him, I can't remember what he was saying, but how he's just not that aggressive or something. How he doesn't think he's that good. I mean, why would you tell a player that? It's just stupid. I get what Shaq's trying to do, but it's dumb. Is Kendrick Williams a really good play if Roby plays? I still like Kendrick Williams. They're still so thin that I think Kendrick Williams is going to get over 30 minutes, and he's going to start again, I would assume. I'd be surprised if they start Roby if he plays. I think it would be Williams going in the starting lineup again. How many minutes do you think Carter Williams gets? I really have no idea. I think he could get, if Cole Anthony's out, he could start and play like 30 minutes. He could start and play 18 minutes. He could come off the bench and play 12 minutes. Like, I just don't really know. Hopefully we get like an update there. If Cole Anthony plays, I mean, I'm not playing Michael Carter Williams anyway. You ever play in the big tournaments above 1,000, or do you keep it under 1,000? If you're talking about entries, like entry levels, talking about entry fees, I mean, I don't really play those stakes, but you're talking about like entry levels. I mean, I play the $40 single entry, and it's got over 1,000 people in it. So, but yeah, it is smart to play in some of the, like they have two. They released 2 $40 single entries, and one of them has like 500 people. Your ROI in the $500 single entry actually might be better long term playing in that one than the bigger one. Obviously, the bigger one though has a bigger prize pool. Noah, you the man. Would you have any interest in Garland on DK? I play about 8 lineups, thinking about playing him in a couple. I mean, I guess he'd be okay in maybe one lineup. I don't think I'd have any more than that though. I just don't really think Garland's someone we need to look to on this slate personally. The only guy I really have interest in from the Cavs is Drummond, not much else. Westbrook or Fox? I mean, I'm taking Russell Westbrook there. Can I play Fox over Westbrook straight up? I mean, you do what you want, Marcus. I'm not doing that. I'm playing Westbrook, but you do you. Rozier, a good play tonight as long as Devontae's out. Yeah, I still think he's viable. Does he look like a top play on this big slate? No, but still someone I'd want some exposure to if I was playing a lot of lineups because he does have a lot more upside. He's going to get more minutes if Devontae Graham's out. Him and LaMelo Ball. Also, Isaac Okoro. I mean, I can't play Isaac Okoro on this slate. He's another one of those guys like PJ Tucker that he could play 40 minutes and score 10 fantasy points. I just don't play Isaac. I don't play Isaac Okoro. I don't think I've played him once this year outside of maybe like opening night. Still like Rozier if Graham's out. Yeah, I still think he's viable. Not a top play, though, on a bigger slate like this. Fox has been playing like 36 minutes a game. Wish Westbrook got that much run. I mean, Westbrook's minutes have been up lately. They've just been in blowouts, and Westbrook's also been in foul trouble. Like the last game, I think he was in foul trouble. He still played 34 minutes. Even in foul trouble and in a blowout, he still played 34 minutes. This was a blowout. This was a blowout. This was a close game. He got 33 minutes. I think we get 34, 35 from Westbrook. Minutes if this game's close and he's not in foul trouble. Maybe even more. He could play like 38 and I wouldn't be surprised. How you feel about a Jazz Bucks game stack? I don't think I'd be doing that on this slate. I mean, I don't think there's any games I'm going to be stacking. Just so many other good plays. I don't think I want to load up on one game. Ingles over Kuzma. That's a close one. I think if Anthony Davis is out, I'd probably take Kuzma, but it's a close one. You like Sexton for $25? I mean, at shooting guard, he helps to fill the position, but I think, I'd rather get up to Donovan Mitchell or even pay down for like Lou Williams. Obviously, I'd prefer Diallo over Sexton as well, and he's closely priced to him. Is Marcus Morris looking good tonight? I don't think I'm going to be on Marcus Morris. He benefits without Paul George, but I don't think this is a slate where I'm going to be playing him. Any love for Gallo with the minutes trending up? I mean, if he was cheaper, I think I'd have more interest, but his price has come up now to where a point like he's not someone that really stands out. But yeah, now that he is getting, 30 minutes, he at least has potential for upside, especially since, DeAndre Hunter is still out. Middleton or Donovan Mitchell? Probably take Donovan Mitchell there. Is Alec Burks viable? I mean, it's a good matchup. Like, he has upside. I wouldn't be surprised to see, a 30, 35 DK point game from Alec Burks, but I don't think I'm really going to go out of my way to play him today. Bacon or Derrick Jones Jr.? Give me Dwayne Bacon, especially if all those Magic guys are out again. I definitely prefer Bacon. Good luck, Noah. Great insight, bro. Hope you win big tonight. I hope you win big as well, Marcus. Good luck, man. Good luck. Middleton and Ennis or Ross and Diallo? Probably take Ross and Diallo there. Beasley with Russell out. If he was cheaper, I'd have more interest, but I just don't think I'm going to be going out of my way to play Malik Beasley, especially now that Towns is back. Like, Towns, that's just a high-usage player that's going to take usage away from Beasley. So even without Russell, I just don't know if I can pay for him on this slate. Value lock of the night, $3,100 Isaiah Stewart. And yeah, he looks like a good value for sure. Ingram, Jalen, or Middleton. It'd be between Brown or Middleton for me. I think I'd probably prefer Middleton, but it's close between him and Jaylen Brown. Obviously, Jaylen Brown benefits without Kimba, and Middleton benefits without Drew. You like a Jokic, Diallo, and Westbrook Randle run back with value plays? I mean, I'm fine with that. I like Westbrook and Randle a lot, and obviously I like Diallo as well. Jokic, I'm not, really going out of my way to play him on this slate, but if he fits into my build, I have no problems putting in Jokic. We know the upside he has. Any love for Pritchard? I mean, yeah, Pritchard looks like one of the better values now that Kimba's out. Even if he comes off the bench, I still think we get probably 30, 32 minutes from Peyton Pritchard. So, yeah, he's a really good value, him and Stewart. I think in cash games, you're probably starting with those two guys plus Westbrook and kind of working from there. I mean, if you're playing like a head-to-head tonight and your opponent doesn't have Pritchard, Stewart, and Westbrook, especially Westbrook, I mean, you should probably look to try and play them all the time. You like Porzingis as a pivot? I don't know if I'm really going to be on Porzingis on this slate. I'd rather get up to Giannis. I'd rather get up to Julius Randle. I know if you're asking like a pivot off of Randle, then yeah, I mean, maybe you could do that. But I really like this matchup for Randle. Like, this is definitely one of those games where we could get like a 50 spot from Julius Randle easily. Power forward under 4.4K. Let's see. Got a couple guys that come to mind, but let me take a look. It'd probably be either Denny Avia or the Orlando guys. So if all those Orlando guys are out, then you got Okeke and Birch you could play. Okeke last night got 35 minutes. Birch got he got a good amount as well. He got 24 minutes. On a point per minute basis, Birch is a little bit more productive. Probably take him over Okeke, but it's close. I do like Denny Avia as well for cheap, 3,900. So those are a couple guys I'd look to at power forward for value. DeLon Wright or Derrick Rose, definitely give me DeLon Wright there. Obviously, good matchup for Derrick Rose, but I just don't know, how many minutes he's going to play. I think he got like 20 last game. I just don't know what his role is going to be in this Knicks offense. Since they have Payton, Quickly, and Rose. I mean, they just have so many point guards. I have a feeling Denver's going to blow out OKC. I mean, yeah, they could. But at the end of the day, OKC still only has 9 healthy players if Roby plays. So, there's a chance like even guys like Baisley, Diallo still might play in a blowout because they just don't have any other guys. What's your favorite strategy on utilizing the utility position? I mean, it's all about who fits. I don't really go into I don't look into a slate and say, oh, I got to play a point guard in the util today. It's just, if I'm building out my lineups and I got 9,100 for util and I don't have Julius Randle, then I'm playing Julius Randle there. If I have 10,800, I'm probably playing Giannis in the util. I don't really, look at positions. I don't think that really matters. Daniel Tice, how do you feel about him for value? I think he's in play for sure. He started last night at center and played like close to 30 minutes. I think he starts at center again, plays around 30 minutes. With Thompson coming off the bench, that's a boost for Daniel Tice because he should be more productive when he's starting at center and not having to play alongside Thompson. So definitely like Daniel Tice. Tatum and Pritchard in the same lineup? Yeah, I have no problems with that. Pritchard's so cheap that you can play him with Tatum, with Jaylen Brown. It doesn't really matter. I see a lot of people do the stack. It's like, why? I mean, sometimes I see people successful. Guess it feels like it's teasing yourself because you'll be winning for a while just to lose in the end. Talking about stacking the early games. I mean, yeah, people do that every night. There's always people that stack the early games just so they can see themselves at the top. And then at the end of the night, they don't win anything. Pritchard can get 30 DFS points. I mean, yeah, he definitely could. Last night, he played 29 minutes and almost got 30, I think. So without Kemba, he should get over 30 minutes, and he's a pretty productive player when he is on the floor. You like Bryn Forbes? I don't think this is a slate where I'm going to be going to Bryn Forbes. Obviously, he's going to start, and he benefits without Drew Holiday, but if it was like a 5-game slate, Bryn Forbes would be in play. Since we have 11 games and there's so many other options, I just don't think Bryn Forbes is someone I'm looking to. Just looked at my lineup, 4 Celtics, too much or let it ride. I mean, it depends on who those 4 are. If you're playing like Brown, Tatum, Tice, and Pritchard, that's probably a lot. But I'd be fine with like Tatum, Tice, Pritchard, or Brown, Tice, Pritchard. I just don't know if I'd play Tatum, Brown plus those 2 guys because that's a lot. If you had to pick one, Valanciunas, Hayward, Beasley, or Ja, I'd probably take Ja there. What do you think of Rubio for 5,400 on FanDuel? I mean, I don't know the FanDuel pricing. I'm pretty sure I'd be playing Westbrook in one of my 2 point guard spots. I mean, obviously Rubio benefits without D'Angelo Russell. I just don't know if this is a slate where I'm going to be really going out of my way to play Rubio. He is still really cheap on Yahoo, so I maybe could see playing him there. I feel like there's probably better plays on FanDuel. I don't know the pricing, though, personally. Lillard, Kawhi, Vooch, Randle. If you're asking me to choose one of those, it'd be between probably Vooch or Randle. I think I'd prefer Randle, but it's definitely close. If we know before lock that Fournier and Anthony are out again, then I'd probably switch to Vooch. Off topic, but I was hoping you could say the app you like to keep up with golf DFS. I thought you said Shot Tracker, but searched and didn't find anything. So it's the PGA Tour app, Robert. If you go to the PGA Tour app, that's how you can follow your players. You can see the leaderboard, and you can actually star players so that they show up at the top for you. So yeah, download the PGA Tour app. Appreciate you and some of the BS you sometimes have to put up with in live chat. Appreciate your dedication. Good luck to you and all of us tonight. Let's get this money. Let's get it, David. Good luck, man. Appreciate you being here. Can you talk about Semi Ojeleye? I mean, we've discussed Semi Ojeleye. I don't think I'm going to be chasing that. I'm going to let other people chase that. We've seen so many times in the past, Semi Ojeleye starts, he plays 25 minutes, and he scores 12 fantasy points. He's just not a productive player. If Semi Ojeleye goes out there tonight and puts up 30 DK points again, then so be it. But I'm not playing Semi Ojeleye. Who are your favorite plays tonight? Giannis, Westbrook, Doncic, Jokic. Well, definitely Westbrook, one of my favorite studs, obviously. But I do like Giannis. I do have interest in Julius Randle, Vooch. So probably like those 4 guys, my favorite studs. Westbrook at $40 on Yahoo without Bradley Beal. Tough fade. Would you consider it? I'm not fading Westbrook. I'm playing him 100%. I'm only playing one lineup like I've been doing for the past 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to have Westbrook in both my DK and Yahoo lineup without a doubt. Horford's been smashing it. He's priced up now. Yeah, he's been priced up, but he's been really good on a point per minute basis without SGA. It's just they don't play Horford a ton of minutes. Like even in close games, you're only getting like 28, 30 minutes from Horford. If Horford played like 35 minutes a night, oh my God, he'd be a guy I definitely would consider. But the minutes just make it so tough. Thank you, Noah. Hope your golf squad's doing right. Looking like all my guys make the cut today, so that's first for me. Yeah, last time I checked, it was going to be pretty close. So I had Harold Varner and Cam Davis, and both of them were like right on the cut line. Harold Varner's not going to make the cut. Damn it, man. He had his last 3 holes. All he had to do was shoot even par on his last 3 holes, and he shot +1. Unless the cut line somehow falls back to even, Harold Varner probably ain't gonna make it. But Cam Davis should. He's 1 under with plenty of holes to play. Will Zalatoris, he's 1 under with 2 holes to play. Hopefully he doesn't bogey one of those 2 holes. Miami Mike with the $9.99 super chat says fast food money. I appreciate that, Miami Mike. I think tonight, me and my girl, we're going to go to McAllister's, so you paid for our dinner, Mike, or you at least paid for mine. I appreciate that, brother. Obviously, you don't have to donate, but thank you. Thank you, Miami Mike. Any love for Trae Young against the Spurs? He's just like a lower-owned tournament option. I don't think I'm going out of my way to play Trae on this slate, but if he fits into your build, I have no problem plugging him in. When it comes to those studs like Trae, Giannis, Jokic, I never have a problem playing them. It's just, am I going out of my way? Are they like the first guy in my lineup tonight? No. I don't see MCW with the Q tag anymore. Did news break? Yeah, he's available to play, but we just don't know. We don't know how many minutes he's going to play. That's the big question mark. Lou Williams for cash, have util 5.6K. If he fits, that's fine. I don't really want to go out of my way to play Lou Williams cash, but if he fits, as the last guy in, I'm fine with that. McAllister's good as fuck. It's pretty good. Last time we went, I think I got a club sandwich and broccoli cheddar soup. That shit was pretty good. I'm gonna have to get something different tonight though. Any good plays outside of Diallo, shooting guard? Feel like the position's always hard to fill. There's a couple guys I was looking at. So if you can pay up for Donovan Mitchell, I think he looks really good at 8,200. In the mid-range, Joe Ingles, I still have some interest in. Lou Williams, I still have interest in. I just wish they were cheaper. If they were cheaper, I'd be a lot more interested. But Terrence Ross, if those Magic guys are out, I like Terrence Ross a lot. We talked about how he nearly took 30 shots last night, so just crazy. Yeah, there's a couple guys I'd look to. Jeff Teague, I don't know what to do with Jeff Teague, but he is shooting guard eligible. He's 3,400. If he does wind up starting, he could be, in play for sure. I just don't know how many minutes he plays. Obviously, Pritchard's a value guy that I'm way more comfortable with. But I don't think Teague's going to be that popular. Ennis Bacon, MCW if he starts. Between those 3, if MCW is not on a minutes limit, I'd probably play him because I think he's the most productive of the 3. I would donate, Noah, but I don't have credit card and don't want to have to deal with it. Parents love you, though. Dude, you don't have to donate. Dylan, you being here is that's good enough, man. I appreciate you being active in the chat. That's all I ask for. Obviously, I don't ask for donations, but people that do, I always appreciate it. 3 top fast-paced teams on today's slate. Well, I know the Kings are playing. They're one of the fastest-paced teams in the league. The Bulls are playing, and they're one of the fastest-paced teams in the league. And the Wizards are playing. So Wizards, Kings, and Bulls, those are like the fastest-paced teams tonight. Hey, Noah, love the content. Any love for McDonald's Filet-O-Fish sandwich? Oh, my God, no. Who the hell goes to McDonald's and gets the Filet-O-Fish? That is just, what in the... I'm about to throw up just thinking about it. If you play one lineup, would you play Mitchell and Ingles in the same lineup? I think it's fine. Ingles is still cheap on Yahoo, so I could see playing him with Mitchell there. Tough to do it on Draftkings, though, where Ingles has been priced up to almost 6K. Jeff Teague's still in the league. He's still in the league, sadly. It's so crazy. Like, I don't know what we're going to get from him tonight, because he did not play at all last night. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play again. Like, he just might be out of the rotation. I really don't know. I probably wouldn't play Jeff Teague unless he's starting. If he's not starting, I would not play Jeff Teague, because I just have no idea how many minutes he would play off the bench, if at all. I mean, he could get a DMP again. Kawhi, a good pivot away from Vooch chalk? I mean, yeah, for sure. Kawhi is a really good pay-up option. Al Horford player to lock with Stewart. I mean, at Al Horford's price, it's tough to consider him like a top play. I mean, he's still fine as like a last guy in. Just don't think I can go there, in my one lineup. I doubt I get to Horford in just one lineup. So today, Papa S has flounder sandwich with pickles, your dinner. I can't do that, man. I'm just not a... Flounders, I mean, I don't do flounder. I'm a chicken guy. I don't really like fish or any seafood, really. Al Horford or Valanciunas. I mean, I'd probably take Al Horford there. It's close. Probably give the edge to Horford. That's where coronavirus started, McDonald's fish. I mean, the fact that McDonald's actually serves fish, I mean, I don't even know what would be in that. Because it damn sure ain't fish. Love content, bro. Best play on Super Draft tonight. I haven't really looked at Super Draft. I have an account there, but I don't really play that often. You can maybe ask somebody else in the chat, though. I know there's some people in chat that play Super Draft. Who on Sacramento benefits from blowout? I mean, if the game blows out, you're going to see the bench guys out there. But I would not go into this slate, predicting a blowout. All these fast food questions and comments. Time for you to start a new channel. Noah Eats or Quick Bites with Noah. Hey man, obviously this is a video, or this is a live stream focused on the DFS slate, but it's a Q&A as well. So I'm down to talk about anything. I know people get mad when we talk about other stuff besides basketball, but at the end of the day, man, this is my stream, so I'll talk about whatever I want. Played Teague once this year when Trey was out. Did not turn out good. Will not play him again. Are you talking about last season? I mean, I remember playing Teague whenever he was on the Hawks and Trey missed some games, and yeah, it never worked out. I mean, earlier this year when Kimball was out and Marcus Smart was out as well, Teague did start, but he only played like 20 minutes, and he had like 10 fantasy points, so it's just so tough to predict what we're going to get from him tonight. Is Ja a good option? Yeah, I think Ja's underpriced for sure. There's so many other good point guards on the slate. I don't know if Ja stands out as like a top play, but obviously he's viable at 7,100 for sure. Get with the times, bro. That sandwich has made comeback stronger than LBJ hairline. I've never had it, so maybe I'd like it, but I don't like fish, and I can sure as hell I probably would not like fish from McDonald's. I've never been a seafood guy. The only seafood I even remotely have any interest in is like crab legs, but like shrimp, fish, just not for me. Never been a fan. You have any Mexican fast food places like Roberto's? I'm in SoCal. They're on every corner. We got Moe's. We got Chipotle. That's it. We don't have Roberto's. I've never even heard of that. Flounder tastes like fried nutsack. Yeah. I just don't think I could do flounder. Favorite players under 4K? I mean, right now the best value under 4K looks like Peyton Pritchard and Isaiah Stewart. Terrence Ross or Buddy Hield. If we know that all those Magic guys are out, if Fournier and if Fournier and Anthony are out again, I'd go with Terrence Ross. Is Towns a good pick? I mean, he's going to be low owned, and he got 31 minutes in his first game back. So I think if we're getting full minutes from Towns, he's definitely someone you can't consider, and he's probably going to be 5% owned or less. Thoughts on Avia? Yeah, I'm fine with Avia as a value. I think he's definitely in play. He does benefit with no Beal, and he is way more productive on a point per minute basis when Beal's off the floor. Got to head out. Thanks for the content, Noah. See you tomorrow. Good luck tonight. Good luck, Dylan. Appreciate you being here, man. Luka or Jokic? I think I'd prefer Jokic between the two, but it's close. John Collins, Canner, or Al Horford? Give me Al Horford. Have a Middleton run back with Mitchell? Yeah, I think that's totally fine. Totally fine with that. Westbrook or Fox? I mean, I'm going to prefer Westbrook. McRib, I've never had the McRib either. I don't think I'd like it, but I've never had it. I feel like that's something like, why do people like that? It's like the Filet-O-Fish, the McRib. Like, how are those things even on the menu still? Like, who actually orders that? Fox, Tatum, Ball, Porzingis, or drop down to Drummond? I think dropping down to Drummond probably be what I do. I do like Drummond quite a bit. I think he's going to be low owned. Drummond's definitely too cheap if he's getting over 30 minutes, which it seems like he will most nights. Obviously last night he didn't, or last game he didn't, but I don't think that's going to happen every night. Fox or Trey, probably go with Trey there, but it's close. Doncic or LeBron, give me Luka. How's Drummond's defense against bigs? I don't think Drummond's really ever been like an elite defender. So if you're wanting to play Cantor, yeah, you can go ahead, but I don't know if this is a slate where I'm really going out of my way to play Enes Kanter. If anything, I'd rather just play Drummond on the other side because Kanter is not a good defender, and he's never been. Giannis or Jokic, I think I'd take Giannis there. Levine, Fox, or Towns, give me Fox. It'd be between Fox or Towns. I think give me Fox. But all right, guys, it's about 5 o'clock, so we're going to wrap up the stream here. I appreciate all you being here. Once again, hope you guys have the best of luck on this Friday slate. Wish you the best of luck. If I don't take down something tonight, I hope it's one of you guys, all right? Good luck tonight, guys. Appreciate you being here. Did you hoop or just a fan of the game? Just a fan of the game. I played in middle school, but never played anything seriously. But good luck tonight, guys. Appreciate you being here. Good luck.